Microsoft just dropped the first official Power Your Dreams ad for the Xbox Series X and S. An Xbox executive talks about $70 games and if they will follow the industry trend. And Project xCloud will be coming to iOS next year. There's a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. What is going on, everybody? It's Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day, and if you guys could do me a huge favor, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and please share this video out on social media. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the continued support. We are pretty much exactly 1 month away from the launch of both next-gen Xbox consoles, the Series X and Series S, and we have so much Xbox news to talk about in this video. An Xbox executive talking about $70 games and if they will follow suit with the rest of the industry, matching 2K, PlayStation, and Activision in regards to potentially pricing their games at $70. We have Phil Spencer talking about how Project xCloud will be on iOS next year, even though Apple has been blocking the Game Pass app. But first, we need to talk about the new ad, the first official Power Your Dreams ad that Microsoft just debuted earlier today, the ad that will basically run in front of NFL games and YouTube videos in the near future. Now, I'll have the ad playing throughout the video, so if you guys haven't seen it yet, I'll have it linked below so you can check out the full video. But I gotta say, I really dig this ad. It kind of is one of those concept trailers where they're trying to tell people what exactly it means to power your dreams. But just looking at it, I love the fact that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is featured very prominently. How he just puts on the headsets, talks to his friends, which is something I do almost every single day on Xbox Live, so it speaks to me, and that he's instantly transported into the world of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But then, potentially using the power of Quick Resume, he's suddenly Master Chief, and the imagery there with Halo, Master Chief, and that ship that was destroying the world really spoke to me. I'm a huge Halo fan, and yeah, it definitely does suck that Halo Infinite isn't coming at the launch of this console. If it was there, this ad would probably hit even more. But in this regard, Xbox is Halo and Halo is Xbox, and I think most people realize that. And Halo Infinite will, in my opinion, be launching before July of next year. Now, I gotta give a big shout out to anybody who was involved with this ad, because there is one huge touch that I absolutely loved regarding Master Chief and Halo. You see, Master Chief has always been a faceless character. You're supposed to see yourself as him. It's why he doesn't talk a lot. You are supposed to be Master Chief. And in this trailer, when the character dons the armor and takes off the helmet, he turns it around and sees himself in Master Chief's armor. I actually really dug that imagery. And I really like the visuals of the actor from Get Out and Black Panther kind of floating around the cities and games that he is going to experience on the Xbox Series X, and then meeting someone else, whose idea of gaming might be completely different than his own. Now, this is what Xbox had to say about the ad. As we approach the launch of a new generation of gaming, there comes a renewed source of joy and inspiration for gamers around the world. We invite you to come on this journey with us, to dream of more vibrant and living game worlds, to dream of being instantly transported to your games at blazingly fast speeds, to dream of discovering your full gaming potential through high visual fidelity and even higher frame rates never experienced on consoles before. With the global launch of the Power Your Dreams campaign, we turn to the positive experience that gaming provides us all. Power Your Dreams speaks to the idea that when we game, whether on console, PC, or phone, we dream. Sometimes we dream about being someone else or about being our true selves. Sometimes we dream of an epic win with a group of friends or a solo adventure that challenges what we think we're capable of. And sometimes we dream of first place or making this world a better place. And yes, this ad actually does have a backstory or a message that the marketers want you to take away from it. It says the story begins with Daniel picking up his Xbox wireless controller after returning home. He is greeted by online friends and is quickly transitioned into his gaming dream, moving from live action to CG. Daniel travels through his dream, passing through spectacular and immersive visuals of dream-inspired gaming worlds before discovering another gamer and her representation of her own gaming dream. Together, they realize that while each of our gaming dreams and journeys are unique, there are many gamers and many individual dreams that all come together with the power of Xbox. And that, my friends, is the reason why those marketers are paid the big bucks. Anyways, let me know what you think about the ad in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moment from the ad? Make sure to tell me in the comments section. Now, before we get into the topic about $70 games, Aaron Greenberg actually had to address this whole notion about the Xbox Series X overheating. You recall I did the video about this a couple days ago. I said it was FUD spread by insecure fanboys online, and this is what Aaron had to say. He was asked, is it really running hot, or is that just a case-by-case thing when doing backwards compatibility? Aaron replied with, the console will output system heat out of the exhaust just as any other console will. Our engineering team confirmed the heat level leaving the console is not significantly different than the Xbox One X. This matches my experience at home, quiet, fast, and impressive power for the size. And that's exactly what I said in my video the other day. That was exactly what Jez Corden said in the clip from the Xbox 2 podcast. That yes, it does give out heat. That's how you know it's working properly. And the heat given off is really no different than what is given off by the Xbox One X. Now, I know one of the concerns gamers have is about rising cost of next generation games. We already know that Sony is going to be pricing all of their first-party games essentially at $70 or maybe $50 if they're kind of standalone experiences like Miles Morales. Not necessarily a full game deserving of the full price, but kind of an Uncharted Lost Legacy experience that was $40 on last gen, but is now $50 on next generation. Then of course you have Activision, who's going to be charging $70 for Call of Duty. 2K's already announced that the next generation NBA games from them will also be $70. And with those huge publishers committing to $70 games, you can pretty much rest assured that the rest of the industry will follow in the future. But will Microsoft, will Xbox charge you $70 for their first-party games going forward? And that's what Aaron Greenberg was asked on my buddy Dealer Gaming's podcast on Tuesday. Asked if Xbox will increase its game prices on Xbox Series X and S, Greenberg said, what you've seen from us is we want to put gamers first. Our commitment and how we've approached this whole generation is all your gaming accessories work. We're not going to make you pay again for next generation versions of our game. We're doing smart delivery. We've tried to be fan first in every way that we can. And I agree with that sentiment there. Xbox really is kind of putting gamers first. You don't have to buy a new controller if you have the Elite Series 2, or if you just like a certain controller that you already own, that you already spent money on. Those Xbox One controllers will work forward. There's no reason to buy a new headset for the Xbox Series X. If you have a pair of Asteroid 50s, they work. And it's the same thing with Microsoft's first-party games that they've even extended for partners to use, the smart delivery feature. So Gears 5 is getting upgraded for the Xbox Series X, but it's going to be completely free. Same with Forza Horizon 4. Sure, other companies might be charging you for the upgrade, but Xbox is not. Aaron went on to say that gaming pricing is a super complex thing to answer because in the old days, every game launched at one price and that was it. But we launched Ori and the Will of the Wisp for $30, and Gears Tactics is a new title launching this holiday, and it's launching at $60. State of Decay 2 launched at $40, so there's not a simple answer to that except to say that Tactics were launching at $60. The marketing boss went on to suggest that $70 games were currently an exception and named several launch titles that wouldn't carry the premium pricing. Ubisoft launch titles Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion will be priced at $60, for example, but the publisher hasn't ruled out next-gen releases post-Christmas 2020 coming at a premium price. Aaron says, I think what you've seen across the industry with a couple of notable exceptions is that most people, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is at $60 for standard, Cyberpunk, Dirt 5, so I'm not seeing it. There are some exceptions of titles where you've seen, particularly for sports games, where they're coming out in advance of the next generation, and because they don't have smart delivery, they're including the Gen 9 versions and charging you more. So it's a little bit complex there. It's a different approach, and they obviously have a right to do whatever they want with their products and pricing, but for us, we've really taken a fan-centric approach with pricing. I'd say first with smart delivery, but most importantly, you get all our games at launch in Game Pass. So does the price of games even matter if it's included in your Game Pass subscription? Now, here's kind of my thoughts on this whole situation. What Aaron is saying about different pricing is true. Back in the day, you had games that were essentially $60 or maybe $30. But nowadays, with the rise of indies, you definitely see a wider range of pricing available for many different types of games. Some will come in at $60, the big AAA experiences. The indie games range in price all the way from $40 to $1, so there definitely are more avenues for different pricing, so that part is true. Now, Aaron mentions how he doesn't really see the industry moving that way, that it's essentially a couple publishers using the $70 price tag, and he uses Assassin's Creed as an example, which, yes, it is true, it's $60, but Ubisoft hasn't ruled out that they're going to charge more next generation. And honestly, with Sony saying they're going to charge $70 for all their games going forward, I think they're going to lead the industry into that direction, and most of the games that we will be playing a year from now that are built strictly for the PlayStation 5 and Series X are going to be $70. Now, the one thing I do absolutely have to talk about is how he says, does price even matter for their games if it's included in your Game Pass subscription? And I would say, Aaron, yes, it does matter. Not everybody wants to subscribe to Game Pass. Some people actually want to own or buy their games, whether it's digitally or a physical disc. So yes, it absolutely does matter. I mean, when you just look at the numbers, over 50 million Xbox One consoles sold. Last quarter, they had over like 90 million monthly active users on the ecosystem, but there's only 15 million members of Xbox Game Pass. So clearly, there are some people who aren't in Game Pass, who probably never be in Game Pass, who do buy their games. And even still, if you're in Game Pass, potentially you might want to try out a game and then buy it. So yes, 100% the pricing of the game actually matters. But obviously, the question is, will Microsoft raise the prices for their first-party games next generation? So will Hellblade 2 be $70? Will Starfield be $70, etc., etc.? And that's a little bit too tough to say at this point. We don't know yet if the entire industry will gravitate to the $70 price tag, although I think they will. And if they do, I can't see Microsoft being the only publisher not to adopt the new $70 standard. And honestly, if Microsoft did price all their games at $70, it would make Game Pass an even better value. Now, the last thing I'm going to be talking about in this video is Project xCloud. We all know Microsoft launched it last month, but it's only on Android. Apple completely blocked the app. So right now, you can't really stream games from Microsoft's cloud on the iPhone, but that is going to change next year. Business Insider says that Microsoft's gaming boss Phil Spencer told employees at an all-hands meeting on Wednesday that the company is planning to bring Game Pass to Apple's iPhones and iPad, targeting 2021 for the potential release of a direct browser-based solution, Business Insider has learned. We absolutely will end up on iOS, Spencer told employees, according to two people with direct knowledge of his comments. And I saw that The Verge added that Microsoft will be bringing xCloud to PCs as well in 2021. So this news will be great for any iOS owners out there. Microsoft is basically going to do what Amazon Luna is doing to get around the App Store restrictions. So sometime next year, you'll be able to stream your Xbox games on iOS. And honestly, Microsoft did need iOS to reach their goal of 3 billion gamers. So it is nice to see that Microsoft has a plan to get around the block by Apple. All right, guys, let me know what you think about all these stories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Share this video out on social media or tell a friend about the channel. Hit that notification bell if you always want to be notified whenever I drop a new video. If you want to support the channel even further, you can hit the join button where you get access to channel badges and emotes for the Xbox 2 podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.